Welcome once again, people, to the Visual Vapor Reviews!
Hey guys, how are we doing today? Got my beautiful cat Chase here. He's hanging out in the studio today with my beautiful fiance Ariana. And I'm gonna hand him off to her for today, because today would be spectacular Saturday, guys. So, what are we going to be doing? We're going to be doing a quick topic for today. Now, I know I normally reserve topic discussions for Topic Tuesday, but today I decided to switch it up a little bit because Super Saturday and Super Saiyan Sunday are usually the days where I switch it up just a little bit to kind of... Spectacular Saturday and Super Saiyan Sunday are usually the days where I switch things up a little bit and kind of just do whatever feels appropriate for me for the video. So normally the topics have been pretty diverse. I've covered a couple of topics twice before, like for example different kinds of tanks and their differences and stuff like that. But today and I've also covered nicotine and different types of nicotine, so like between nicotine and nicotine salts, CBD and stuff like that. And we've gone over those before. We're not unfamiliar with those. So why not today? Hold on, I'm gonna adjust the camera a little bit. There we go. So why not today we talk about something a little different. Hold on, let's get some light up in here. Alright, so today we're going to be talking about airflow. Airflow is the fundamental fundamental component in vaporizing. Vaporizing is basically, at its bare bones, a battery completing a circuit that is connected to a tank with coils that heat up red hot, with cotton that goes between them and liquid soaked into the cotton. The coil heats up, vaporizes the liquid on the cotton rather than burning the cotton. No combustion, just vaporization. Therefore, giving you less carcinogens, safer, healthier, and more flavorful cloud, or in this case, vapor, not smoke. Now, in terms of airflow, most people, when they're looking to quit smoking, they are looking for something that can help them transition. They try something like an e-cigarette. Yeah, it feels and gives the simulation of smoking, but it doesn't give you that satisfaction of the nicotine buzz, because most of them are straight up tobacco. So therefore, you're using multiple cartridges over and over and over again because you're looking for that nicotine high. But it gives you the simulation of a cigarette at the same time. That's called a restrictive airflow, where the airflow is just two tiny little dots and it's coming in, hitting the coil, burning the tobacco, and going into your mouth. It gives you that restrictive mouth to lung or straight up lung hit that you get off of a cigarette. Now, when you are vaporizing, you are looking, or going to switch over to a vaporizer, you're looking for something that gives you that feeling of smoking without really smoking at the same time. So you're looking for something as similar as possible. That's why people go to e-cigarettes at the first try. But 9 times out of 10, the people who try the e-cigarettes are disappointed. They find themselves craving it more, buying more cartridges, and thinking they'll spend more money than they would if they were buying cigarettes. And because it's not vaporization, it's burning straight up tobacco, 9 times out of 10, the person will label it as a fail and walk away forever. Now, that means that we have just lost a potential ex-smoker right there. We have lost the ability to convert them to vaporizers because they are permanently turned off from them forever because of their bad experience. 9 times out of 10, the human body or the human mind will go for something that it has a good first experience with. First experiences dictate how we feel and how we act. If we have a first experience that's really good with, say, someone you like, you could eventually wind up falling in love with that person and eventually get married, start a family. Well, that started with a good first experience. Sometimes, very few times, you have a bad first experience and it ends well, but 9 times out of 10, humans are creatures of habit. So when you have a bad first experience with what you think is a vaporizer, but in reality it's an e-cigarette, an electronic cigarette, you are left with, apparently, an annoying cat that likes to climb all over things. Hi, Chase. Say hi. You're on camera, Chase. There you go, buddy. Go. But you're left with, and when you have a bad first experience and you're turned down from vaporizers, that's because you're using the wrong one. This channel is designed to help you make informed decisions on what to buy so you have a good first experience. So, let's say you want something. Now, mind you, this is a smoker looking at a vapor. So, smoker is noticing his health problems. He's getting himself down. He's noticing that he's thinking to himself, I want to quit. It'll be healthier for me, but it's really hard. Tried the nicotine patches, tried the e-cigarettes. They don't work. But I see these guys who are ex-smokers, and they're blowing plumes of vapor in clouds. Maybe I don't want plumes of clouds. Maybe I just want something that's a restrictive restrictive airflow that'll give me the same amount. Now, when you see people using those tiny Ego Twist pens, that's not wrong. That's not a bad thing. There's nothing wrong with using that. You would get the same performance off of this box mod, the Athena Squonk, as you would if you were using that Ego pen. You can set this to give you the same as the Ego Twist. So that's really simple. That's where airflow comes in. Airflow is where, in some cases, bottom airflow, it comes down, hits the coil, and up, and gives you that vaporization, like this. There we go. Airflow. The airflow contributes to that flavor. And the cat's back on the washing machine. Go! The cat's back on the washing machine. So, in my case, I have top airflow. Top airflow is where you pull it in, it comes down like a wave and goes back up. So when you pull out air through here, it goes down and up. It hits those coils really hard with a blast of air, like a vacuum from your lungs, and then as the heat is produced and vaporized, rather than keeping it right there and burning the coil, or the cotton in this case, it's pulling it up, creating what's called a lead-in frost effect, or a barrier between your heat and your cotton. That's because the liquid is constantly being covered, and as you vape, the cotton will get dry. Hence why you have tanks and rebuildables. Tanks hold the juice there so you never have to worry about it. But you still get a ton of flavor. Now, everyone who you see, if you're a non-vapor or you are a vapor and you see them using the little Ego Twist, if you're an experienced vapor and you have something like this or something like my iJoy Avenger and you see them going down the road puffing on a little Ego Twist and you're just going like and blowing out little tiny puffs, hey, guess what? This can do that too. There's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with using an Ego Twist if you're trying to quit smoking. But watch. So you just turn down the airflow, which most of them have adjustable airflow on them. Most tanks do. So you'll see right here at the top, let me see if you guys can see that, there's a little notch right there. So when you turn it, it cuts off the airflow. I'm going to turn this off most of the way so that I can mimic an Ego Twist pull. So this gives you a really restrictive mouth-to-lung vape, and it's meant for the people who are really used to smoking. So check this out. This is a mouth-to-lung. I'll do a normal vapor hit at the end, but we'll start off with most smoker hits. When you're smoking and you're using a cigarette, you go and you, after of course lighting it, you pull into your mouth and then into your lungs, or directly into your lungs. So we'll start with a mouth to lung. Very tiny clouds, nothing huge. See, I'll do it again for you guys. So you guys will see the vapor in my mouth, and then you'll see it go down to my lungs. There you go. Simple mouth to lung. Next is a direct lung, where I'm literally mimicking an Ego Twist here with the tiny clouds that I'm pulling off this, because I can put off a lot bigger. But next is the same direct lung hit for a similar to an Ego Twist or a cigarette. So direct to the lung, no keeping it in your mouth, just directly to your lungs. Now, I just do a mouth hit normally because I like the plumes of vapor, unless of course I'm doing a cloud competition. With a full-on vape mod like this, you have a lot more potential. So check this out. Airflow dictates how much cloud you get sometimes, depending on your wattage, of course, and all the electricity things. But at the core of it, it's your airflow. Whether it's restrictive, whether it's powerful, whether it's loose and airy, it's all dependent on your airflow. So watch this. Bigger clouds, way bigger than you'd get off an e-cig or an ego twist. Much bigger in any case. So now we'll get on to tanks. Now, if you're using an ego twist, they usually have about 2 little dots for airflow on their tank, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's very restrictive, and it's very good for mouth to lungs and quick nicotine rushes, or just really good flavor. If you're in it for the flavor and not the clouds, an ego twist is great. And that's mostly what people switch from cigarettes for. They switch because they like the flavor, they like the clouds, they like it all. But then as you upgrade or your lungs get stronger and healthier, you're able to enjoy much bigger clouds. That's why you upgrade from an ego twist sometimes, depending on your preferences. Of course, it's all subjective. That's why sometimes you upgrade to something like this. This is the highest regulated box mod on the market today. It's called the Avenger, and as if you guys are just checking out my channel for the first time, it's fine, but be sure to go back and check out all the other videos. I'm going to be uploading this on both channels, Michael Cobb and Visual Vapor Review, so you guys will be able to get a chance to see this. This is called the Avenger by iJoy. It's a voice-controlled vape mod, meaning I can tell it to do whatever I want in terms of vaping, except tell it to take a puff. So, watch this. Hello, iJoy. Music lights, and then it'll go based on your voice. Lights off, power high, power low, and it'll turn the wattage up and down. Or if you really want, you can set it to the best recommended wattage range by telling it to do auto watt, and it'll go right to 60 in my case, but I keep it at 70 because it's the best flavor and cloud production. So now I'm going to show you guys what a restrictive mouth-to-lung looks like on a regulated mod like this. So I'm going to turn off the airflow almost all the way. It's not something I do very often, just in case you didn't know. So it's almost all the way off. Let's see. Not bad. I've got Banana Split in here from the ECG company. Not a bad flavor, not bad at all. I've also got Lime, which is like a Sprite flavor. I've got Tropical Culata, which is also in here as well. I've got them mixed a little bit. I like that. Banana Tropical Culata. But here, now this is a restrictive, straight, direct lung hit. So check this out. That's what most people get as a restrictive lung hit, directly. Now, if I'm wide open, however, check this out. Plumes of vapor, big clouds, big flavor. It's what I do, but it's not all about how I do it. It's about what I enjoy. Now, there's no nicotine in my flavors. I don't use nicotine. I didn't have to worry about the whole nicotine addiction. I just enjoy the flavors and the clouds that come off these things. Because now this channel is designed and intended to help people quit smoking, and that's what it's here for. At the same time, hi cat. He's right there. You can probably see his ears at the bottom of the screen. But with more vapor to play around with, you can do some bigger tricks, rings, dragons, all sorts of cool stuff. Like, for example, this would be a half dragon. This would be a full dragon. Out the nose and out the sides. Not a hard trick, really easy to master. Most people who are using ego twists or smaller versions like little pens, they can manage smaller versions of the trick. Now, the easiest one to learn after that and beforehand is usually rings. Most people try to master those as soon as they get their first vape. Me, I didn't learn as quick. It took me about a month to get the first perfect O, and that was with the whole side tapping trick. That was cheating. Me, my first vape mod, now, Let's do a little backstory here. My first vape mod was nothing like these. It was actually an e-cig similar to what I was talking about before. If you guys have heard me talk about this before, I know. But if you're just coming new to the channel, you guys would probably like to hear this story. So, my first vape mod was one of the first vaporizing e-cigs. The first original e-cigs, they burned tobacco through their coils instead of vaporizing e-liquid. No cotton, just the coil and the tobacco. In my case, what I used was a Mach 10. A Mach 10 is an actual vaporizer, but it looks like an e-cigarette. The little end lights up like a cigarette and the mouthpiece had a vaporizer that you could remove and switch out cartridges. It was called a cartomizer. Really simple. But I learned how to hack them and add my own e-liquid to them. It was awesome. And that thing would last me for weeks at a time because I didn't vape all that much. But then I started watching videos and being like, oh, I wish I could blow clouds like that. So I upgraded after I saved up some money. For 20 bucks, I got the Vapin Plus pen, which is a simple vaporizer, really simple, really easy. You just twist it on. It looked like an Ego Plus or an Ego Twist, whatever you want to call it. And the problem was it used ceramic heating coils, so that thing gave a lot of burnt hits. But it was a good vaporizer for what it was. And then I got, later on, as I got older, when I turned 18, when I was about 18 and a half, strike that, I got my first vape pen. I was going to the bank to open my first bank account. I had maybe $250 altogether, and I couldn't set up my bank account because I didn't have my 2 forms of ID. I had 1 form. I thought my birth certificate should be enough. But, of course, it didn't. So I'm walking back, and there's a vape store right up the road. And I'm thinking to myself, well, heck, how much money do I have? $260. Maybe for $100 I can get a vape and some good juice. I don't know. I'm thinking to myself. So I walk in. It's a really nice place. It was a really nice place at the time before it closed down. It was called X Smoke Vape Smart. And it was a really amazing place. There was couches, pool tables, TV in the back, vape hookah on the side. It was a whole glass bar of vape stuff. It was just amazing, and a wonderful wooden mahogany table. And it was just one of the greatest places you could go for vaping in Hillsboro. And then, so I walk up, and the lady there, her name was Deb. I actually know her quite well myself now. And she was doing a sale for the Smock Baby Beast Prince. You guys probably know that one. No, not Prince. Baby Beast pen. The Baby Beast stick. And that was before the Prince even came out. Smock was one of the biggest companies at that time. And it was just really cool because I saw so much happiness. I saw people coming in and being like, hey, I'm trying to quit smoking. Could you help me out? And they were really happy when they walked off and took their first puff off that mod. And it just made me happy to see that people were making a healthier choice. Then, so I walk up to Deb and I said, well, hey, I only have $100. What's the best and cheapest mod that I could use and start off with? And she said, well, I have an $80 Smock Baby Beast pen. And I said, well, will I be able to get any juice with that? She says, well, you'll have about $20 left over. That can get you a 30 ml bottle. I was thinking to myself, okay, it wasn't too heavy, wasn't too pricey. So I go and I pick it up and I go to the library to open it up and set it up and all that stuff. And I'm reading the manual and I'm going through it and I'm looking, I'm like, okay, I know what to do. Take it apart, prime the coil, put it back in, put it together, fill it up, wait 5 minutes. So I'm reading a book in the library, waiting for that thing to wake up. Then my timer goes off and I book it outside at the top after posting a picture of it on Facebook, and I literally take my first puff off this thing and I literally like coughed my lungs out for the first time. I was so happy to see the clouds. Then I went to take another puff. This was my first flavor that I ever got for this thing was it was called Whole Shot. And it was a Monster flavored vape. It was awesome. I have never been so happy because I love Monster energy drinks. So I thought, Monster vape, why not? It wasn't exactly like Monster, but it tasted dang near close. So I was really happy with that, and I never ever thought I'd be able to blow such big clouds after that. But then I started reviewing for SS Vape. I was looking for ways to get my stuff for free and do reviews, and that was before I really started thinking about how I could help other people. I was just in it for the freebies at the time. Nowadays, I'm definitely in it for helping other people. Yes, the freebies are a definite help, but at the same time, all I really need to do is have the products in so that I can review them and help other people make informed decisions and do giveaways and sales and stuff like that. I really just enjoy that mostly. And of course, my Venture. This was my second latest mod. My very newest would be the Athena Squonk, but my newest tank would be the iJoy Limitless RDTA. But it definitely gives off good flavor, way more than I expected when I first got the Smock Baby Beast. Way bigger clouds. My first box mod, believe it or not, was my iQune i200. That thing put off so much vapor production. It was such a good mod and tank kit. It was just one of the best mods and mod kits out there that I'd ever seen. But I've come a long way in my reviewing. I've been able to do a lot of stuff for this channel, and I can't wait to be able to do more. My cat's just chilling right in front of me. He's like, "Yeah, bro, you've been talking too long." Well, maybe I have, but there's nothing wrong with a Topic Tuesday on a Saturday. Dear Lord, that flavor never gets old. It's tropical colada and banana split. I put in my lemon twist bottle because it holds more liquid, and I always like looking at a full bottle as much as possible. But I'm going to fill that up a little bit. There we go. I also like my full tanks. I don't like looking at a tank and seeing it's mostly empty and being like, "Oh, great, I gotta fill it." No, I'm sorry. I'm a full tank guy. If my tank isn't full, I'm not happy. My tank should always be full because by the time I run out of juice, if my tank's full, by the time I run out of juice, then I still have one full tank to last me. That means I'm always prepared and I can kind of gauge how much I'm going to use at the end and then until I can get some more. So say I'm running out of juice and I have a little bit in my bottle and a full tank, well then I'll use my tank, fill it up from the bottle until the bottle's empty, then I'll just leave that tank and just use it less and less. But I'm good for right now because over at Smoker's Choice they have two 20 ml bottles for $1, so be sure to head on over there to check out their promotions. They always have good bottles of juice there. But in any case, guys, thanks so much for checking out the channel. Be sure to leave your comments in the crotch box. Be sure to like and subscribe. Ring that notification bell to stay up to date on all the latest updates from the VVR. And tomorrow, we're going to be doing the Super Saiyan Sundays, guys. Of course, you guys might know what that's from. Super Saiyan is from Dragon Ball. Never really watched the show, but I do like the like the little parts from Super Saiyan and stuff like that. It's kind of funny. But I figured I'd coin the term for the videos. Alright guys, but that about wraps it up. So until next time, as always, I'm your host Michael Cobb, and these have been the Visual Vapor Reviews. Peace, guys.